Hello everybody and welcome to another video of my Motorsport Manager Career Mode, where we're picking up at the end of the last race. So we've got the results table. Faith Anthony and Andre Gomez managed to finish the Munich Grand Prix in the 13th and 14th positions, which met our sponsor's objective. We aimed to finish inside the top 16 for that race, so we just did it. I'm more happy about the fact that both my drivers actually finished the race following Faith Anthony's disappointing performance in the first race of the season when she crashed out on lap 3. However, I'm still going to push ahead and replace her, as I do feel she is potentially the weak link in my team currently. Andre has potential to be a better driver. He's also younger, much younger, 10 years younger, so he's got seasons ahead of him, whereas I think Faith is potentially in the twilight of her career. She's on the, the last stages of her career, so a shift of her into maybe reserve driver role for the first season, unless I scout an even better driver later on and end up replacing her as a reserve driver, I definitely want to go ahead and sign Enrique Lara. I hope she's going to agree to her contract that I've offered her. She will be a great addition to the team. As a paying driver as well, she's going to be absolutely ideal for us. Anyway, let's get through these social media posts. Fairly average performance. Yeah, well, the Munich track doesn't really suit my car at its current level. I'm happy with 13th and 14th position in that race though. Very happy with it. So, we're going to move on. Move forward, onwards and upwards. Race number 3, Milan. Hopefully spend a little bit of time now before the race working on some parts and development and things like that, which would be pretty good. See how the drivers have improved, if anything. Not really. Kurt's a little bit happier with the team. He's gone up 12 happiness and what have you. The fact that we made some money probably means Kurt is going to be very happy with us. It's always better to keep the chairman smiling, not plunge the team too heavily into debt. But yeah, onwards and upwards. We're doing well. 2 races in. What else have we got? He's listening to offers. Who's that? That's Faith Anthony. You can listen to offers, love. Your career's about done. I don't think anybody's going to sign you. Car condition, we lost about 40% from both cars. Oh, we've got to answer a few questions. That was a superb result for Faith Anthony, finishing in 13th. You must be delighted with that, surely. Yeah, it was a good performance, a good drive. Andre Gomez did much better than expected, coming in 14th. Are you happy with that? Yeah, I'm not going to upset the drivers. Definitely. I feel we performed better than expected. Our brakes seem to be holding the team back. Yeah, they certainly are. But I'm going to tell him to button it, because I know either other answer would negatively impact the team's either marketability or the chairman's happiness. So I'd rather upset the driver. No, I'm not really interested in Eduardo. As I say, my sights at the minute are firmly set on signing Enrique Lara. And she's accepted the offer. Yes! Excellent. Now, before I can sign her, what I need to do is just jiggle the drivers around a bit. So, I'm going to promote my reserve driver and replace Faith Anthony. So now she's going to be the reserve driver. And then I'm going to sign Enrique Lara by clicking the button. And then I'm going to select Theodore Red and click the button. And hey presto, we sign her. Pay all the signing on fees and clause breakages. It's cost us nearly the best part of $1 million to make that change, but our driver lineup has suddenly got a hell of a lot better. Woohoo! He's happy, Theodore Red's happy because he's got promoted, and then in the next email, he's disappointed because I fired him. She's happy because she signed her contract, and we get the news bulletin that Lara joins the team. She's going to cost me about, what, 4.6 million a year. But providing she's in the races and in the practices, we'll get paid for her being in the car by her sponsors, by her people behind her. So I'm quite happy that we're going to make some... That 4.6 million won't actually be that much. Cars have finished being repaired. Performance work is done. The engine has finished being built. Okay, that's pretty good going. We're going to be introduced, obviously, to the GMA. There's going to be a vote coming up in the next couple of weeks, in which we're going to be voting on whether or not we're going to add Rio de Janeiro to the calendar. We've also got votes coming up for wide slick tyres, unlimited pit stop crews, a virtual safety car only. I kind of like the safety car. Front wings will be able to be developed. Rear wings being able to be developed, and a few other bits and pieces. There's quite a few votes coming up this season for changing the rules for the 2017 season. So we need to decide how we're going to vote on these sort of things. I'm not too sure about adding Rio as a track. Our engine build is finished. That's good. That's nice to know. Problem is, I think that first engine is... No, that engine's okay. The first one we built's got illegal parts on it, so we can't use it. Or there's a risk to using it. Why am I... I'm improving the reliability on Spec Parts, and that is a little bit confusing for me, because they have the highest reliability at the start of the season anyway. I would have been better off changing that and doing work on the non-spec parts, like the gearbox, like the suspension, like the brakes, the engines, etc. Yeah, let's work on the gearboxes and the brakes. Let's get them a little bit more reliable, shall we? That make more sense? No point working on the spec parts, because, like I say, they're at quite high reliability anyway. They're not going to let me down in races unless I have a crash. We're going to build another gearbox, though. Acceleration plus 20 red zone, plus 10%. In fact, again, this is another part that when you come to do the building, those first tier parts are absolutely rubbish. Because they're adding red zone. There's like too many negative traits associated with those first level parts. And we're just going to have a quick look at the drivers again, who we've got available for scouting. Is there anybody? We don't really have any slots left. That's the problem. We can't really scout anybody else. We've signed her. We've got her. And I love the fact she's a paid driver. 221,000 for each race she's involved in. Fantastic. She's got a black eye though at the minute. That's a bit of a bummer. That's going to negatively reduce her stats a bit. Our next race is going to be in Milan, where apparently top speed, deceleration and high speed corners are crucial. How does that affect us? Well, high speed corners, the wing is a spec part, that's not going to be a problem. Deceleration is going to be a problem because that requires brakes, and we have the worst brakes on the grid. And top speed, we're going to be very, very bad, because again, we don't have the I want to increase the reliability, although I really perhaps should get into the realms of suspension. What am I building? I'm building a gearbox. That's not perhaps the best thing in the world to be building, but hey ho. Obviously I've got my new driver, who's a paid driver and very good rated. Obviously Faith Anthony, who unfortunately crashed in the opening race of the season, has been demoted to reserve driver now. She's pretty much dead to me though, because she crashed. I can't thank her enough for not doing that. Budget wise, I was going to look at next year's budget, what I'm spending on the car. I'm currently squirreling away 700,000 a month for next year's car. I could invest up to $1 million, but I think what I'm going to do is leave it at 700,000, because I think ultimately next season's car, although it's going to be an improvement on this season's car, looking at some of these aspects, I'm going to need to spend a bit more time pumping into actual part research. Okay, I've got 2 new sponsors apparently. Who have we got? Who have we got? $6.25 million up front. I'm going to take that. That's a good chunk of cash. I'm taking that. The engine build is finished. Great. Improve parts. Let's have a look. Well, we are working on the engine. We're not working on its reliability, however. That's a bit of an issue. Perhaps we should be working on reliability of the new engines, because we're going to need to get them fitted pretty quick. But then performance is going to be important as well. Decisions to make. Problems of being a team boss. Okay, so Nina Holtz won in the Formula 1 Championship with obviously Sebastian Vettel second, although he's not called Sebastian Vettel, and Danny Kvyat, because this uses the old lineup for the I suppose that's the Red Bull team. Lewis Hamilton was 4th, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's have a look then. When do I get to do something? Next race is in 17 days. What is on? No, that's not the calendar I want to look at. I wanted to look at that. That's what I want to look at. Okay. Nothing upcoming. Interview about potential. What's that? Oh no, Gomez's house has gone up in flames. His house has burnt down. Oh, so that means he's lost 5 focus and 50 morale. That's going to affect his performance in the next race. Tell me what you think about the track vote next week. Track vote, GMA. I have no idea if that's going to be of any benefit to me. Milan tracks. Do we go to Brazil? We do, don't we? No, we don't. Because we're part of the European Racing Series. So, yeah, why would I want to vote to add Brazil to a European Racing Series? I'm against the proposed race in Rio, definitely. It's not a European Racing Series if you're going to Brazil. Yeah, don't really see. It's the same when they add Japanese races to the European Racing Series. It's like, what? Anyway, let's carry on. Oh, scouting. Have I got any more scouting slots? No, I'm still going to be scouting a couple of people. The idea is I want to try and scout as many drivers as I can, especially the youngsters down here. some of these guys could be quite promising. But we shall see. Okay, we've got an email. Global Motorsports Association, the GMA, is going to meet for the first time this season. We'll be voting on proposed rule changes which come into effect. Problem found with the ECU. Oh, great. We can afford it. 500 grand outlay. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Okay. So the new voters started. Okay. Politics. The rule will benefit teams. A new race in Rio de Janeiro will be added to the calendar next season. So will benefit teams likely to perform well at Rio de Janeiro and teams likely to struggle. Well, I'm voting against because I object to Brazil being considered part of Europe myself. It's going to be an expensive race to travel to. The cost per team is going to be... Oh, they voted it in. Oh no. We are going to go to Brazil next year. So they've finished building a gearbox. Lockhart Motorsports Ray Roberts is thinking of the 35-year-old's retirement looks on the cards. Okay, I have no idea who he is. Political recess until the next vote starts in 28 days. Oh, great. What else are we looking at then? Wide slick tyres. 300,000 per race though. Ouch. Unlimited pit stop crews. That would be handy to have. Virtual safety car only. Jury's still out on safety car. Front wings, so that means making front wings no longer a spec part, allowing free development. I do like the idea of there being spec parts in the European Racing Series though. Points for the top 8 only. No, I don't agree with that. And again, making rear wings so rear wings can be developed. No, not again. I'm against that. Free dry weather compounds in a race gives you a bit more strategy, I suppose. But again, it all depends really. So those are the things we've got upcoming. I'm going to go for brakes potentially. Make some better brakes. Because there's our current brakes, look. Absolute garbage. Okay, and then suspension. Right, let's have a look then. Report on Milan. It'll be a 21 lap race. Okay. There's likely to be some rain during the race. Our brakes are going to be absolutely hammered. Okay, telemetry centre. He wants a telemetry centre. We are not going to build a telemetry centre or upgrade our telemetry centre anytime soon. Konstantin Ivanov. Narcissist and boring. He has got 55 marketability though. Just saying. Harry Webb. Ooh. 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 He could be. I'm tempted to sign him. I could be very tempted to sign him. The reason for that being, he could be a good reserve driver. Get rid of her. And then ultimately he could replace him. My staff are pretty good. I'm not worried about my staff. But drivers and a Harry Webb, if I compare him with, say, Faith Anthony, no contest really, is it? No contest. I've got a bit of time though. What I will do, or what I shall do, is wait and see what my other scouts come up with. Okay. So again, Nico Rosberg, Kimi Raikkonen, Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton 4th, Kvyat 5th, Windsor Racing, so that'll be Felipe Massa. It's fun working out who all the fake names are. Okay. Asia Pacific Super Cup. Don't really know any of these. Anyway. Headquarters. So what is my headquarters looking like? Am I building anything at the minute? New buildings. Don't need to worry about that because at the minute... Oh no, we could probably do with suspension. Wind tunnel we don't need because we've got... I could do with building maybe the test track. There's loads of things I want to build. Upgrade buildings. Okay, let's have a look. Factory. Design centre. Staff centre. Isn't there a telemetry centre somewhere? That's locked. Requires a level 2 staff centre. Okay, perhaps then maybe I do unlock. It starts moving me in the right direction. What other buildings? Scouting facility and the forecasting centre. Everything else is pretty much level 2. Do I unlock? Do I risk upgrading the... Well, it's going to cost me 15 million to upgrade the factory, so no, not doing that this season. Brakes build is finished. Okay. Do I risk making another set of brakes? That's good, but look at that. The red zone just goes through the roof, doesn't it? Although at this stage I would be able to risk, so I could probably go red zone reduction. That one and that one. Build them. And then after that we've definitely got a look at doing how are we looking? Brakes average 40%. That's not going to cut it, I'm afraid. Not going to cut it. Travel to Milan. Okay, let's go to Milan then. Who are we going to take? Who are we going to risk? We're probably going to risk maybe Brembo, I'm guessing. 9th or above. Maybe Marlboro. 16th or above is actually probably more realistic, I'm thinking. So Milan is a fast circuit. So me with my low top speed could potentially really struggle on this circuit, but we'll have to see how it goes, which means you'll have to tune in for the next video where I'll be doing the Milan race, the practice and the race. So for now, thank you everyone for watching. Remember, hit that like button, leave your comments, remember to subscribe. You've been a great audience, and I will see you all again very, very soon.